3 o'clock, Thursday, November, what is day, 15th? Had dinner at the church last night, Prairie Village Presbyterian Church, Thanksgiving dinner. Haven't been there since COVID for dinners, 2 or 3 years, 4 years, whatever. It was a good dinner last night, good food. People gave me strange looks. I was thinking about Coldwell Banker. I was a realtor. First job was Coldwell Banker, owned by Sears back in the late 1980s. And Crumb came up from behind me and put me in sleep hold and knocked me out. Then there was a guy, it's this girl who I remembered from since before COVID. And the guy, I thought the guy was the girl's father, so I don't know. He put her in, they were standing in line behind me, and then they put a neck lock on the girl, and they're laughing. I was thinking, Crumb has been my Uber customer, but maybe there's two guys who look like each other. One guy's bigger. Bigger guy knocked out my dad when he was 16. He's really my age. Maybe he was a pro wrestler. And he knocked out my dad and killed him, got away with it. Well, I can't tolerate it. I don't know what to do about it. But I can't tolerate anything. Coldwell Banker just hand me $1 billion for that bullshit and pay me $1 billion a month to be a chairman. You know, different than everybody else. Of course, George Burns. How many two guys who look like him? I don't think there's two of those guys. He's involved with me getting thrown in jail to Merrill Lynch. Well, Merrill Lynch handed me $1 trillion, $5 billion a year for every year for paychecks since kindergarten. So I just said my degrees don't matter. Just respecting my ownership of Merrill Lynch, Bank of America right now that owns Merrill Lynch. That's $1 trillion. You all killed my dad. You're gossip lying idiots. Punks. Kansas City has nothing to do with New York. Well, New York's never called me back to address these issues, so. Gordon Gee, he was one of the guys, and then there was somebody at church. He's one of the guys who represented Merrill Lynch to get me locked up. They go to the same church as me? Well, let's see, Yale and Harvard no longer want to be ranked. Well, my dad went to Ivy League, ranked, and the reason I went to Purdue is because of the rankings. If it wasn't ranked, I probably wouldn't go there. If I would have gotten $1 billion a month with my ACT score, I would have never graduated high school. I would have just taken that $1 billion a month and been happy. When I was 16. No different than everybody else. Degrees in what? From where? Competition. It all invites fraud, and it all creates the atmosphere for people to commit fraud to get a higher ranked school, a higher GPA, higher ACT, SAT, GMAT. It all just creates situations where fraud comes into play, doesn't it? Everything creates situations to bring in fraud. Lies, gossip, setups, murders, identity theft. Well, I'm really George A. Crawford III. Oh, pretty boy. Some idiot sent me an email about my Craigslist giving rides for $1 a minute anywhere for Christmas. $2 a minute. If you're 4 hours away from Kansas City or more, plus, you pay me for idle time, got driving back empty. Had a lot of people request stuff like that when I'm driving them. Well, somebody deleted my Craigslist ad. Sends me an email saying I'm an idiot. Guy's name was Michael Rhymes. Then they say Kansas people just start talking in nursery rhymes, or they start doing movements, doing things, thinking you're going to mimic them and do what they do. Or they get and walk and leave real fast, think you're going to follow them. They're all just fucking idiots. Money talks. Minimum wage for me is $40,000 a minute based on $4 billion a year hedge fund paycheck. They got a spreadsheet on it, yeah. You think that's a smart ass? That's just called a smart motherfucker is what it is. So we say smart ass. Guy asked me if I do rake leaves. Yeah, for $1 million an hour. Prepay the first hour, so I make sure I get paid. You think that's a smart ass? I think if you know who I am, what you're doing is insulting me. You're a punk who insults me. A superior. So that's what you are, trying to trap me into your bullshit. I really don't want to work. Hey, you're right, I don't want to work. That's what they used to say, anybody who wants to work's insane. Well, in some ways that's true. I want to work for $40,000 a minute as a hedge fund manager, my own hedge fund license. So I make $4 billion a year. Because that's what it is. It's precedented in America, paycheck precedent, business license precedent. That's what it is. Merrill Lynch, hand me $1 trillion. Payne Webber, hand me $1 trillion. Smith Barney, hand me $1 trillion. Coldwell Banker, hand me $1 billion. Trillion. Reese Nichols, Berkshire Hathaway, hand me $1 trillion. Punks.